Hi, my name is Samantha and I'm the curriculum development lead here at Launch. And today I'm going to show you this really cool website called Scratch. Scratch is a block-based coding website that you can use online on any device to make your own games, animations, basically anything you can imagine, stories, presentations, and it's free to use. In fact, if you have played any of our other games in this launch portal, such as the Habitat Lost game, Codeland Maze game, or the Exoplanet Transit Matching game, those are all built within Scratch. So if you're interested in seeing what they look like and the coding behind, you can check that out. It's also a really cool way to share coding with other people and is a very powerful way to learn how to code. So today we're going to just start at the very basics because there is so many different levels to Scratch and you can go very deep into it, or you can just do very many things with what we're going to show you. So we're just going to give you the basics and make a fun animation. First thing you need to do is to sign in. You can create without signing in. However, it won't save your code and you might lose it and all your work is gone. So we always recommend creating an account. So you can join Scratch by creating a username and password. I just use your own email. So let's just say Samantha. Let's see. Samantha Launch. And you can just go through that whole process. I already have my own account, so I'm just going to sign in. And once you sign in, you'll be greeted with this main Scratch homepage. You can see other people's projects. As I said, it's a great way to share, and you can even look up other people's projects. So say you wanted a animation, and you can look up different animations people have made. The main thing too, you can find here all your previous things you have made under My Stuff. But let's just go to Create here. When you go to Scratch Create, you'll be welcomed with its initial screen. Some terminologies you're going to need for Scratch is that anything you kind of do or moves or these creatures such as this cat is called a sprite, and you code what these sprites do using these blocks at the side. So you can set these sprite codes. You can add as many sprites as you want. You can change the size and everything. You kind of manipulate the actual look of the sprite that you have here, and the location is in this area. You can also add a backdrop, which you can code to do some things, but not as much as you can do with these main sprites. So let me give a backdrop to start. So I could make my own backdrop by painting, or I can search one. I can make a surprise. So let's see what it randomly gives me. Oh, it gave me a beach. Or I can upload my own design. So I'm just going to choose a backdrop, and I'm going to make a space animation today. So I'm going to go to the nebula because that's my favorite. And so there's my backdrop. As you can see, we can change from what the appearance is to the code at the top. So I just want a singular one. So I'm going to delete all these other ones. So there we go. So when I have clicked on my backdrop, this area here, anything I put in here will affect the backdrop. And then when I click on my sprite, anything I code now, as you can see in the top corner, will affect my sprite. So let's get going. I'm going to use this cat sprite that shows up. He's going to have a little travel through space. And I'm going to show you how these different categories, different blocks you can find there. So the first one is your motion controls. Now this moves in steps in the X and Y direction. So your X direction goes horizontally, your Y is vertically. So if I just wanted to move 10 steps, see, he just moves 10 paces when I click on it. That's just me showing it out. I'll show you how to start everything. And I could turn. So I could move 10 steps and he could turn. As he moves 10 steps, I can make him go to a random position. And or I can make him go to a very specific position. So he's very specifically going to stay there. Depending on the order will depend on what happens first. So it's very sequential. So if I want him to move 10 steps, turn, and then move to move to position, glide to a random position, you can see he would move 10 steps. He should turn 15 degrees. Wow, let's see if he turns 50. He'll move and then glide. And it happens really quickly back to back. You can make him point in different directions. You can change it. If he hits the edge of it, you can make him bounce off. And you can also use these X and Y positions in reference. One thing I forgot to say right away is that this only works when I'm clicking on it, but what if we want this to work immediately when we start the round? Well, we have to go to events and when this green flag is clicked. Every time we click the green flag, whatever we do after this will start. The green flag is kind of a starting point for our Scratch program. So usually the first block you ever put out in your Scratch program is when green flag clicked, it triggers something else to happen. So let's go to looks. Now looks, the Scratch can have their little sprite can look different or have different costumes. We can make it say different things. So if I want him to say hello, when I press the green flag, I'll just move this hello block and hit go. And then he says hello for 2 seconds. He could think, he could say hello. And then after that, he could think. You can see how the bubble's different. If I want to change the costumes, now what do I mean by costumes? Well, the same tab, we found the different backdrops. It now says costumes. He looks slightly different. So he's kind of walking. So say I want him to, I'll start him on costume 1. And I want to switch to costume 2. So I will say hello. And then he's going to switch the way he looks. Can also switch backdrops here. Now moving on to sound, I don't use too often, but we could play start sound meow. So we could play a sound. He's gonna and he meows. And when I want any of my code to stop, I can use this stop sign up there. Events, there's lots of different things we can do with the events. So if we click on the sprite, something could happen. If we press a certain key, we could change the loudness. We could send a certain thing out to trigger another action to happen. Control, we have our wait, and we have our very helpful loops. So if you know anything about coding, it is, you can have an if-then loop. So if something else something happens, then something else will happen. You can have if I click on him, he says hello. If I don't click on him, he'll be like sad face. We can do our wait. We can stop everything from happening, which are the main ones. So what if we do wait? Let's make him start with costume 1. He says hello. He switches, and then he waits before he hits the meow sound. So let's see. Hello for 2 seconds. And then he meows. So we also have then this blue one. We have our sensing, which helps us sense the sprite sense if something is happening. So if it's touching a certain color, if it's touching our mouse pointer or another maybe sprite that we might have multiple ones, we can sense if the key space is pressed. If we move our mouse, if we want to drag them, we can get it to ask, what's our name? So when we do that, he'll be like, hello, what's your name? And I'll be Sam. And then it will do the rest after I put it there. We go to green, we have our operators, which are our plus, minus, star, like multiply, divide, picking randoms. These become a lot more helpful in a little bit more complex codes. We won't dive into these today, but if you need any Boolean operators, so if this thing and this thing happens, or this thing happens, or when this doesn't happen, you'll move here. We also have variables, which are you'll learn about in more advanced coding, but it's basically we have decided to store something in a certain name and we can call upon it. And then you can make your own blocks up too. So I'm going to make a quite simple code today. I want to make 3 different sprites exploring space. I'm going to make them do different things when we click on them. So this guy, I want him to point in just the regular direction to start. So I'm going to change it down there. He's going to hang out, and I'm going to add another sprite. So I'm going to go here just like with the backdrop, I can paint and design one that I want, but I'm not into that today. And I can always delete any sprite with this delete button. Or I can surprise. Let's see what the surprise. Ooh, I don't want a keyboard, so I'm going to delete it. Or I can upload my own character. I'm going to search one for now. I want a star since we're in space. So I'm going to put the star one. And I said I want 3, so I'm going to do a star. And then maybe I'll have, do we have an astronaut? What happens if we put space in? Ooh, what if we have, I like a dog friend. I was going to say a robot because I saw that, but I saw a dog and a cat hanging out in space together. Say we want actually our cat to have a similar space helmet. We can click on him, go back up to costumes, and let's give him a space helmet by just drawing a circle around his head and changing it to fill. So now he has his own space costume. Let's move this, actually this to the back. And then if I make it filled white, it'll look the exact same. There we go. They both have their space costumes on. So let's go back and code this. As I said, I can drag these around to where I want them to start. And I like that size. And I'm going to make the star up high. So my code, I want the cat to say, I love space when I click on him. The dog to say, look at that star, and the star to glide across the sky when I click on it. So each of these will happen when I click on these characters. So let's start with the cat. So the cat, our sprite 1, we're going to, so when flag is clicked, we want it to start sensing to wait for us to click on it. So we want this to forever to be checking if we are going to click on it. So the entire time we're running a code, it's going to always check to whether or not we're going to click on this sprite. This will be the same for every single sprite we do this with. So once we click on it, we can do, we can do this 2 different ways. We can have it forever checking if we are clicking on it. So we can go forever if we click on it, or if we touch it. Sorry. So the cat sprite, we want to always start with all our sprites. When the green flag is clicked, we're going to start doing things. So let's get them all to say when the green flag is clicked, we're going to get them to say hello. So all of them will say hello. Now we want to check what happens if we click on that sprite. So we are going to go to event, and instead of having this green flag, we're going to say when the sprite is clicked, it will do something. So when the sprite is clicked, we want him to say, I love space. So we're going to go back to looks, change this, and say, I love space. And I want to do it for 2 seconds because I don't want it to be there for the entire time. And now if we press our green flag, he will say hello for 2 seconds, and we click on him, say, I love space. Now let's add some code to our dog, or Dot as they've called him. Again, I want him to say hello when the green flag is clicked. You don't always have to have the green flag out. It's just good practice. But say I don't actually have the green flag out and I just want him to say hello when I click on him. He'll say hello. But let's just put the green flag out and have everybody give us a nice warm greeting like we did the last one. And then when this sprite is clicked, I want him to say, look at that star. So I'm going to again go back to say, change hello to look at that star, exclamation mark. So let's see what happens. Hello, they all say. And then I click on him, I love space. When I click on him, look at that star. And now I want the star to glide across the sky from one space to another. So I do want the star to say, let's switch it up. When it turns on, let's say shine bright. So when I click the green flag, it's going to say shine bright. And then when I click on the star itself, I want it to glide. So we're going to go to the motion controls. We're going to have it glide 1 second. Let's see what happens when I have it glide 1 second to a random position. Oh, I don't like that. Let's have it glide to a position I state. So If I want it to move, so I'm going to stop the code just to make sure nothing's happening. So sometimes you have to, because you can test out your code by clicking, you might have to like detach it from the one sprite click to change this. So I want the star to move there, and I can find down here that X and Y coordinates is 183 and 83. So we'll move there. And I want the star to always start there. So when it's clicked, when we start the green flag, I want it to always move back. So we have it gliding for 2 seconds here, and then we'll glide it back to that position for 2 seconds. So it'll move back and forth across the sky when it's clicked. So let's see what happens. Shine bright, hello. Click on him, I love space. Click on him, look at that star. Click on the star, it glides back and forth. Pretty fun, right? Now, maybe I want, if one person says something, or if something touches another thing, let's see. Let's see that if the dog says, look at that star, then the star starts moving. So let's go back to our dog, and we will say, when sprite kick says, look at that star. So when we click on him, we want the star to start moving. So let's say if we're going to send in a message. So look at the star. So we can go to our control. Sorry, not our control. And we're going to broadcast a message. New message. Look at that star. Okay. So now when I click on the dog, it's going to, behind the scenes, send in a message to all the sprites saying, look at that star. And when the star receives that, I want the star to start moving. So I can do, instead of when this sprite is clicked, look at that star, I can actually right click on these blocks, duplicate, and move them down here. We can also delete any blocks in a similar manner. So now, if I click on the dog, look at that star, and then the star will start moving. Pretty cool there. Let's see what else we could add to this cool animation. Let's use an if-then statement for our little cat here. So we'll go to control. So when it's clicked, if we touch the space key, so if we go to sensing and we touch our space key on our keyboard, then he will spin. Let's make him spin if we touch the space key. So we'll make him turn 1 degree. And let's make him turn like 1 degree every millisecond. And we just rotate that for 360 degrees, which is in a circle. So we're going to go if. We're going to repeat this motion 360 times. Turn 1 degree. And let's see what happens. So he says hello. You press the space key. Oh, you can't really see him move. He probably is moving, but way too fast. So let's add a wait in between there. So wait 0.101 seconds. Let's see what happens. Hello. Why is that not working? Well, he should be spinning, but I think it's only sensing our waiting for our space key press when we immediately first touch this. So but it won't work. We have to have it checking forever for our space key check. So I'm going to put the forever block around there so it's constantly looking to see if we've checked the space key or pressed the space key. So let's try to see if this works now. Low. Oh, and there he starts spinning with the space key. So now I have a cat that spins and says, I love space. Dog that says, look at that star, and the star moves. When I click on the star will move too. I have pretty cool space scene going up. So this is just kind of the basics of Scratch. There's so many projects and other people's things you can look at, check out. My challenge to you is to create your own little animated scene with these blocks, try to play around with them, and see what you can come up with. So happy coding.